Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Market Trends. Sorry for the delay. I had two sessions, out of which this has been successful as what I understand. If anyone can give me a reply, I will really appreciate that. Okay, so done for the moment. Now let's move on to our topic, which I wanted to discuss. It was regarding the Dow Jones activity going on at the moment, and as you can see, the presently the Dow Jones is trading at 27,956. That is really up by 60 points. Now in regards to this, there are few news through which I will be taking you. One is regarding the stimulus package, which the US is going to announce, and it's going to be something very big, that is expected. But at the moment there is no proper clarity on what and when the package is to be announced, and henceforth this is something of a great concern, that is second stimulus check. Why hasn't a relief package been agreed as of yet? So the Americans await for a second stimulus check in order to continue amid impasse in talk over the next coronavirus relief package in United States. So this is something which is very much being discussed of, and it is speculated that that something can be expected, as this is the night of hours. So something can be expected in positive, in regards to the stimulus package which is to be announced by the US government in order to relieve the US economy up to an extent. Now, this has to be noted that the economy is very much devastated in United States due to this pandemic issue. The reason to that is that they're completely relied on their salaries, because whatever things they purchase on EMIs, and everything is being disturbed because they aren't getting employed, neither they are getting any salary. And the next thing which is of a concern at the moment is related to China's retail sales, which have further shrunk in the past few days, and especially for what the data came out today, we could see a steep fall in our Indian markets as well. As you can see over here, right from 12:20 approx, we saw a steep fall. So by the noon, the markets couldn't adjust the situation of economical situation prevailing in China. Because of it, even the other things are being affected. One thing is to be understood, that the entire world in some way or the other is uh, dependent on various products being manufactured in China. The China which manufactures their products are something which is reasonable enough, such a reasonable enough that no any country can compete and provide such products at the moment. So this is of a great concern, and because of which could see a steep fall even in our Indian markets. And uh, next thing of concern is relating to US China trade deal. As you know that earlier it so happened that there were several more talks quarrels between the US president and the Chinese counter, which resulted that the US government had banned and asked the uh, Chinese consulate in Washington to evacuate from over there and shut down their consulate in Washington DC. And henceforth, the same thing could be seen in China, that they shut down the US consulate over there and asked those people also to uh, leave the country. And this was seen in both the countries, which caused a terrible turmoil. If you if instead of going through the entire news read, I will just give you a brief gist about it. Now both the countries are somewhere or the other, because this has to be understood, because US as a country, in fact, not only US, certain, but we'll stick on to the US over here. This has to be understood that US is somewhere or the other quite reliable, quite reluctant, or quite dependent on China for certain products, because the competitive price they get the products at from China is something which is of not possible from any other country, at least for the time being. Maybe something can be developed over a time period, but nothing can be done at the moment. So somewhere or the other, the Trump administration also understands that, and at the same time, the Chinese economy, as I mentioned over here in the previous news clipping, the Chinese economy is also being greatly affected with the world's protest against the Chinese for closure of their apps, applications, and other things. Even US is into consideration to close down two applications. One is TikTok and the other one is Chinese WeChat. Now they are in consideration to close both of them, and but they want it to be closed because of security reasons. But no, it's the convincing part that they have to deal with the uh, with the population, to convince them that this is a security reason, that's why we have to shut down. But even still, even this is kind of not possible at the moment, because it's going to affect the Americans as a whole terribly. They are too much addicted, and their population is too much addicted to both the things, and henceforth it's going to be a difficult task for them. So this is regarding the Dow Jones and the certain movement you see. These are the newses regarding this. One is the no clarity of a stimulus package of US at the moment, and the second one is the recovery data which Chinese have shared. It's something which is of great concern, at least at the moment. Now moving on to the stocks. Okay. Sorry, I was just checking out something from out there. Anyways, moving on to the next one, that is, we will discuss about some of these stocks at the moment. Like for example, the first one for discussion is regarding HDFC Bank Limited. First, we'll go through the pricing, valuations, and that all things, and later on, we'll come on to the rest of the things. uh, Regarding the pricing of HDFC Bank Limited, HDFC Bank Limited, which stands to be the number one private sector bank, is currently going on the rate of 1035 rupees, and which is fairly down by minus 24 points. In terms of percentage, we could see that it is down by 2.27%. Now moving on to the valuations, we can see the total market capitalization of the bank is 5.69 trillion, whereas the PE ratio stands to be 19.99. The 52-week high of the bank is 1305.50. The 52-week low is 738.75. So you can say 738.75, 738, 1035, 1305. So we can say somewhere or the other the stock is right now in between only. There are few newses regarding that. First, let me give you one thing. This is the outgoing managing director of HDFC Bank, whose name is Mr. Aditya Puri, and he is going to complete his tenure on by October last week, and they have decided, the RBI also gave a note on the successor who is going to take place of Mr. Aditya Puri when he quits his office, and Mr. Sashidhar Jagdishan is going to take over that from there. So this is the situation with it. Whereas if we come on to the newses, about a few days back ago, Mr. Aditya Puri, after the HDFC Bank Limited had announced its quarter results, Mr. Aditya Puri had unloaded a chunk of shares that he hold of HDFC Bank, which were quite heavy in number, and since then we could see that the stock has been rallying, bearishly rallying, and that was the reason regarding that. But at the moment, what Mr. Aditya Puri has to say is that the the outgoing MD of HDFC Bank, Mr. Aditya Puri, says best of the bank is yet to come, in which was written to the letter, in a letter which was addressed to the employees. So he's also very much positive with the bank, and if a person from within the company is very much positive with the bank, with the company as a whole, then it's somewhere or the other, it's a good sign that it's somewhere it's positive. So no doubt at the moment we can see in the bank that a bad phase is going on, since the downfall of even a day was 2.27%, and for 5 days it was recorded as uh, almost 1.81%. So we can say that overall the bank performance is going to be good over a period of time. But if someone is looking on to invest in it, I would advise keep an horizon of at least an year, because we can't expect something good to happen in the bank at least for the coming year. So keep the horizon, let's say, between an year to 2 years, and you can expect something, some good decent returns out of it. But as much as you hold it, it's going to be much better for you. Now, the next talk which we are going to conduct is related to ICICI Bank Limited. If we see the pricing of it, it's currently priced at rupees 360, which is fairly down by 7.15 points. And in terms of percentage, we can see that it is down by 1.94%. Whereas now, if we see the valuations of the company, we can see the market capitalization of the bank is 2.34 trillions, whereas the PE ratio stands to be 23.32. The dividend yield is 0.28%, whereas the 52-week high is 552 and the 52-week low is 268. So we can say that it's somewhere near to its low only, because the 52-week low is 268, whereas the current price is 360, and the 52-week high, which is 552. So it is very far away from its 52-week high, but somewhere close to its 52-week low. It's a good option if you bet on it, and we can expect a positive rally in it. If you see it for a single day, we could see that it made a difference of 1.94% in minus, whereas 5 days we saw it going by minus 0.30%, whereas for 1 month it was terribly down. So over and over, the bank has been witnessing a downfall, and we can say somewhere or the other the entire banking sector is being affected. The reason, you can say somewhere or the other, it's moratorium which is reimposed on the banks, and certain policies through which things are being unfavorable for the banking sector. Apart from that, the RBI, which the stand of big people also matters, which is looking uncertain. Uncertainty in the market plays a vital role, and henceforth this can be seen especially in terms of banking sector, which you could even see in today's market, that banking sector was the one which was terribly affected, minus 516 points, that is minus 2.33%. That is too much of decline in it. But and this was the most biggest decline in the entire thing. No doubt, Nifty, because of Nifty bank only, the Nifty stands to be at a position. So we can also say that Nifty bank is the backbone of Nifty 50. But unfortunately, banking sector is being affected at the moment. As I mentioned, one is the moratorium issue, and the other thing is that the market has a great set of uncertainty. The RBI chief says something, and Nirmala Sitaraman says something, and things are moving out of hand. The economy is going down and down, and the market is going up and up, which is not a good sign. So overall, the NPS are also been affected badly. So overall, these all factors cause the Nifty Bank as a sector, complete sector, to go under a correction. So somewhere or the other, and also one more thing, HDFC Bank, which is a very core point, very core stock of banking sector, if it falls so much, then definitely all the banks can be witnessed to fall. But nevertheless, it looks as if I see there is some correction happening in ICICI Bank Limited. And in terms of my personal view, what I say, but although I could be 100% wrong in it, but still I would say that the bank as a whole is good, which has been being run by Sandeep Bakshi. So as a whole, the bank is very good, very competitive. But at the moment, due to all the factors which I have enumerated in front of you, the bank is not performing up to the mark. But nevertheless, we can wait and watch. Maybe in the coming days, we can further see it to go down approximately 350 like that. Once a 350 or 340, you can say, once it goes over there, then we can constantly on a systematic approach carry on our purchases over there. And the time horizon over here will be at least for 8 months to 1 year. So I would, to be on the safer side, I will suggest to keep a horizon of 8 months to 15 months. Keep the horizon between this time, and most probably you will yield profits out of it. I won't say that you can reap heavy profits out of it, but yeah, profit is very much expected out of it. And this is a very good rate. You can even make the purchases now. That is what I think. And the bank is going to do great in the future. Even the various analysis say that the the bank which is highest rated banking stock hasn't been performing up to the mark. And if you go on to the next one, that is DEMAT, which stands to be trading today at 2182 Indian rupees, fairly down by 25 points. And in terms of percentage, we could see a fall of 1.14%. The total market capitalization of the company as a whole is 1.41 trillion. The PE ratio stands to be at 136.26, and the 52-week high is 2560, whereas the 52-week low stands to be at 1459. So having talked about the 52-week low, that is 1459, whereas the current price stands to be 2182, and the 52-week high is 2560. Definitely, if we compare 1459 to that of 2182 with 2560, we can say it's somewhere headed to its 52-week high. And I wouldn't suggest that at least for the moment you make any investment into this stock, because it hasn't been performing up to the mark, and somewhere or the other various rivals are about to enter the market, and the online shopping is much more preferred than what of physical shopping. And somewhere down the line, what I personally feel is that DMart has to catch up the pace in accordance to what its customers require. Otherwise we could see a great downfall in DMart as a whole. So that is the thing with DMart. And apart from that, the owner of uh, or you can say the promoter of Avenue Supermarket DMart, who is Radha Krishna Shiv Kishan Damani, is looking forward to invest in various sectors, and at the moment the company owns 74.99% stake in DMart, but Mr. Dhamani holds more than 1% stake in 10 other companies also. Whereas what we saw in the June ended quarter report, they we have collected data only from companies where Radha Krishna has direct holdings. During the quarter ended June 2020, where Radhakrishnan Dimani made fresh entry into defense company Astra Microwave Products with 1.03% stake, Kalyani Group Company BF Utilities with 1.3%, and Mangalam Organics with 2.17%. I think Mr. Damani very well knows about the situation, what is expected to happen in retail industry, and henceforth he is investing in different spheres. But what I can assure you at the moment, based on what I have been witnessing in regards to Radhakrishnan Damani, is that he is not a guy who will let down his company DMart into losses. He won't make his shareholders, investors unhappy, and definitely he is going to cover up that that gap of scenario which is prevailing at the moment in in a short while. But what happens when happens, it's of a concern. There is also a discussion, just now I discussed about this issue, that Mr. Dhamani made a purchase of about over 2% in a chemical firm, on which it immediately hit its upper circuit. So that was something which was of a great concern. So we can expect that something negative can happen to it. uh, well, at the moment that's it, guys. I hope you liked my new interference of this thing. I will try to keep on updating this thing. I've just started with it, and hopefully I will try to accommodate it as per your comfort. uh, I wish you the very best for your upcoming weekend. Hope you have a great weekend, and do spend time with your family, so that we come on with a fresh mind on Monday, and hope to see you on Monday. Till then, take care and bye bye.